Well, hellfire. It is RockdaRiff, and I am back for another Metalhead Envy with some King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. It's a new band. I've never heard of them before. uh, we have finally made it to Aerodynamic. Looks like we've got Aerodynamic, Sea of Doubt, and Silent Spirit to go. Which I'm excited for Silent Spirit because a lot of y'all have been saying that y'all think that's the one I'm going to really super dig and everything off this album. So I'm curious if it's going to be metal. I'm curious if it's going to be a little bit darker. A little bit of pure evil. Evil. uh, but I can say, I know my last video I was talking about I wanting some other elements. I still enjoy this record. I'm just talking to y'all and talking off the top of that dome sometimes, or most of the time. I'm always see, prime example. I'm always talking off the dome, so it's just thoughts I have. But I did like Space Sick. I do like this record a lot. I think the only track on this album so far, and that's at the recording time of this one, that I'm not crazy about is Dead Stick. I don't know why. I get somebody mentioned that the lyrics of it are pretty dark, but to me that song is so happy and upbeat it belongs on the previous record. But either way, let's dive on into Aerodynamic. That opening right there really reminds me of something else. Oh, fuck, I cannot think of it. But that way it sounded and the flute really reminded me of. I want to say it's like that one track, baby. When I think about you, I think about love. That one. But I can never remember the name of it. Really reminded me of that. I do dig the vibe of this. I always like when Ambi's singing. I like Ambi's got a style. I think I still vocally to this day, I still think his section in Gila Monster is my favorite vocal section of any King Gizzard. And I still, to this day, don't know what the fuck he says in that section. And I know y'all have commented before what the lyrics are, and I read them, but it goes in one ear and it out the other side of my ear. I don't know why, bro. But I do like the vibe of this one.
else in a compass. She says chase what you can't have.
I know, I think that sounds like Stu as the lead harmony, but that's a cool harmony. Vocally, that's a really cool harmony.
She says chase what you can't have. This land born curse clings to you like algae. If only you were a star, you'd be not setting tree. I said I have always wondered if I could step out of my body, would I be a fish out of water, or like a skull in harmony? So Miss Moon, if I could have one wish, I'd turn my hands into wings. I'd say goodbye to the fish, and I'd jump from the highest cliff.
Yeah. I like that.
I wanna be
Yeah. I really dig that little descending melody line riff area right there. That's very Snake Charmer-esque for me. If I was a fucking cobra, that'd be the melody that the dude's playing or whoever's playing, that I'd come up out the jar and like, what's up? I'm a snake. That, I dig that fucking, that little melody line right there. Ooh, cowbell.
just floating away on this barrel of pain. Is this just me stranded at sea in a sailor's dream? I'll just sing to the sharks and maybe they'll think twice. They're just trying to survive in the world like me, alright. I ain't got hope, but
I don't know. I cannot tell you who I think that, or I can tell you who I think it is. I think it's Cookie, but it could be Joey. And then y'all say, sometimes y'all say this is Lucas. Man, get out from behind that. Honey, I love you, but I cannot have you going back there. There's no telling what you just unplugged. Come here. Come on. Come up here. Cats. I'm watching my girl's cat this week, and she's a sweetheart. But I can't believe she just figured out how to get behind all that and those wires and stuff. Might have to check. Yeah, vocally, I'm having a hard time telling who that is. I know y'all gonna tell me in the comments. It's a harmony. It sounds like multiple people singing, but there's a lead, whoever the lead tone is right there.
maybe they'll think twice. They're just trying to survive in the world like me, alright. I ain't got hope, but I can't help but smile. The 40,000 foot of tears won't save me from an appetite. I accept my fate. My time is nigh. I'm just gonna sit here and watch the waves roll by.
Yeah. I dig Aerodynamic. I think Aerodynamic was a perfect blend. I feel like this track's ebbs and flows really well together. Hell yeah. I would make the argument that this is on the same ebb and flow of the very opening track, the title track, Phantom Island. Yeah. If I sit here and think about it, I feel like Phantom Island's still my favorite at the moment. Lonely Cosmos, Eternal Return. I know I said Eternal. Somebody was like, yo, it's Eternal Return, not Eternal. I think I was saying Rain the other day in one of my videos. Yeah. Phantom Island, Lonely Cosmos, Eternal Return, and Aerodynamic. I think those are the standouts for me at this moment. But then again, that's the cool thing is some days it's this, some days it's that. It's when you have a fucking catalog like King Gizzard, it just there's so much for different moods. Uh, yeah, I dig this song. Hell yeah. I'm curious if this is a standout for a lot of others too. I just felt like this was it had that cohesiveness that Phantom Island had. Whereas y'all been mentioning to me that a lot of songs were the chopping floor from the previous album. And I feel like a lot of the other ones have that feeling. It's like they were one idea, then the orchestra came in and they became another idea, and it's like the ebb and flow of them is there, but it's not as glued. Whereas I would say title track and this one feel super glued together. Everybody's like they knew this was written for this album. Now I could be totally wrong, but those two tracks to me really fit the album cover, all that. Hell yeah. If this ends up being your first time to the channel, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are. As always, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, y'all are awesome. And I hope you gain more and more and more and more and more and more success. And if y'all ever need another guitarist, even though y'all got like 20, if y'all ever need another guitarist, I would definitely jam with y'all, man. Fucking A. I want to sit down with Joey and Stu and Cookie and have them teach me all of Petro Jargonic. I'd love to learn that record from fucking beginning to end. But there's some skill stops in that album that they're throwing down, bro. I don't know if I got the chops for it. But yeah, can't think of nothing else to say besides stay positive, stay rocking, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.